I'm just telling you objectively as an outsider, those are fighting words.
I don't ever want to judge someone based off of what I've heard from others, because I know for a fact that people probably have ran their mouth about me, and probably for exactly what I just told you, like how he went around telling people like this, that, and the third. And I would never want someone to hear what that person is saying and then be like, oh, Spencer is this. That's what I do with other people. Do you do the same thing when it comes to like giving people benefit of the doubt until I guess like proven guilty?
No, that's the thing. Okay, so I would be the problematic person because I listen to what people tell me.
Really?
Like, I feel like like if someone told me that without meeting you, like I'm just really impressionable. I think I'm gullible. I would believe them if someone told me before I met you today. Someone was like, Spencer has multiple personalities. I'd be like, no f***ing way, tell me why. Like, explain, tell me. So, but okay, there was a person in my life that I heard a bunch of things about, and I heard that they slept with someone that like was one of their best friends, like partners, I guess. And
Mindy.
I still like tried giving them the benefit of the doubt, and then it like. Yeah, it f***ed me over in the end. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, but I feel like I have a good instinct with people. So like, I was about to do a project with a big project with a person, and I had an instinct the entire time that like something was off with this person, and I couldn't explain it. And then I finally pulled out of the project. But like, of course, the second I pull out, like,
It gets explained.
yeah, it's that feeling of like, you know, when like
It's
you
like a
have
weird
something-
pit. Oh, sorry, I just hit the mic.
yeah, a pit in your stomach, and you have a feeling about someone and you can't explain it, and like,
You don't know why, but it's there.
and then it comes out that they are a shit. It's like that one.
Uh-oh. I'm in podcast beef.
Oh my God, Brooke. I'm in a mood today where if we talk about this today, the things that I would say in response are so different than if I was like,
Okay, well, I want to be a little bit careful about it. I want to tread lightly a bit. I don't know how much energy I really want to give the conversation. But recently, I'm watching a little podcast. I got tagged in a little something of someone like trash talking me on a podcast. And if you guys know the backstory, I had like a second there where I was going to do another like a second podcast in addition to this one. And I loved podcasting, and I was like, I want to have a podcast kind of thing. And I reached out to somebody who I thought was like just the funniest person, and like I wasn't really friends with her, but I was like, she was just a friend, or I thought she was funny. I thought she'd be a good co-host kind of thing. And so she and I like started this whole negotiation process. We started pitching the show to a million different like production companies and stuff. We ended up getting a production company to pick it up, and we got the little ball rolling. Okay. There's meeting after meeting. We had been like,
you better tell the cockroach story so I don't have to.
I will.
Oh my God.
We probably had 20 meetings about this podcast, and like every single one of them was like her whole team, my whole team, the whole production company. Like it'd be like 13 people in a Zoom, okay? And we had meeting after meeting, and like so many people are putting so much effort into this situation, okay? We had contracts, like both of us were getting paid like a good salary to show up somewhere and talk for an hour a week.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which is insane.
That's what it was. And it was amazing. I was so grateful for it. I was really like excited about it, loved it. When I tell you this, I mean,
Just tell the truth.
I did start to like get a little bit nervous like throughout the process, because I'd be on these meetings and either she wouldn't show up or she would like her camera would be off, she'd be in bed, she wouldn't say a single word during the meeting, and I was like talking on a Zoom. She never one time did she have her camera on. She just like wouldn't participate, and I was like, oh, this is kind of strange. Sometimes would just completely miss them. There's 15 people in this meeting, wouldn't
I'll just never forget one time she missed a meeting that you guys had, and correct me if I'm wrong.
This was like toward the end, like we had already like worked everything out. She missed like one of our most important meetings. Straight up, did not, no call, no show. Almost 48 hours later, the woman texts in our group chat and she goes, I'm so sorry, you guys, I had a cockroach in my house.
Oh my God, Brooke. And I was so floored by that because even I, Tana Mojo, would not do that. Say something that day.
I think things aren't important. Like we did a cover shoot for the podcast. We had the photos. Okay. A month later, I go, hey, like, have you chosen a cover? She goes, oh, I'll have to look at them.
You haven't looked at them? Like,
She just didn't care about
Also,
it.
two flaky blonde bitches in your life. Like, you'd
Yeah,
kill
it was
yourself.
like I already have one. You know what I mean? Like I love you, but like I've got that covered. But it just I had a bad feeling about it, and I started acting accordingly. I started getting a little frustrated. Like if we would be like, okay, let's meet here at 4 p.m. and it'd be 5, and she just wasn't there. And she'd be like, oh, I could be there in 30. I'm like, what do you mean you can be there in 30? Like you set this, you chose the time, and you're not here, and she'll come in with Starbucks in her hand, kind of thing. I was like, oh no, okay. Eventually. And in my head, I'm like, I should pull out of this. But it's like, at this point, my management has done so much. They spent thousands of dollars on a lawyer to like negotiate our contracts and do all the red lines. And like, they had put so much into it, my team and hers, for like this to be successful and stuff, that I was like, I feel guilty. I have to see it through. And she ended up pulling out of it. Okay.
And I remember the day you were like, thank God.
I had a bad feeling about it. And I just knew, like, I knew that's not something I wanted to go through.
Yeah.
Tell me why. This girl goes on a podcast the other day and straight up says, I just pulled out of a really huge project with a girl who I just had a bad feeling about. I got a bad vibe from her the whole time. I always had a bad feeling about her. And as soon as I pulled from this really big project, I found out I was right. She was a shitty person.
And why? Why did she find out you were a shitty person, quote unquote?
Still unsure.
Those are fighting words.
Well, it just pissed me off because I'm like,
Those are, no, but those
I'm just telling you objectively as an outsider. Those are fighting words.
I sent it to her and I was like, hey, like, did I do something? Like, did I do something? Because I never gave her a hard time about it at all. Because honestly, I was relieved. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to get into like business with somebody who I knew was unreliable. She has been fired from every job she's ever had. I'm so sorry. Like, there's a reason for that.
Did you
I
rehash
never
the-
gave her a hard time about it. I was so sweet about it. I was like, thank you for telling me. That's totally fine, whatever. But for her to go on a podcast and say like, oh, it's because you had a bad feeling about me and that's why you pulled out. You pulled out because you were lazy and you didn't want to do it.
Absolutely.
And you turned down a fucking double a teacher's salary for you to just sit on a couch for an hour a week because you're lazy and you didn't want to do it. Never mind. I was gonna take it too far.
Someone said that about me. Like all bets are off.